We are back for day 7 in the book of Ecclesiastes, guys. Let's continue our study as it relates to toil and labor and vanity and self-seeking, self-indulgence, all of these different areas that we sometimes fail to realize that are drawing us away from our Heavenly Father. So let's dive in. Chapter 7. And this subject matter is the contrast of wisdom and folly. And it reads, a good man, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than that day of birth. It is better to go to the house of the mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the face the heart is made glad. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better for a man to hear and rebuke the wise than to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of fools. This also is vanity. Surely oppression drives the wise into madness, and a bribe corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, an advantage to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money, and the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of the Almighty, who can make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. In the day of adversity, consider. The Almighty has made the one as well as the other, so that man may not find out anything that will be after him. In my vain life, I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil doing. Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be not overly wicked, neither be a fool. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you should take hold of this, and from that withheld not your hand. For the one who fears the Almighty shall come out from both of them. Wisdom gives strength to the wise man more than 10 rulers who are in a city. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. Do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others. As this I have tested by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it is far from me. That which has been is far off and deep, very deep. Who can find it out? I turn my heart to know and to search out and to seek wisdom and the scheme of things, and to know the wickedness of folly and foolishness, that is madness. And I find something more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases the Almighty escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her. Behold, this is what I found, says the preacher, while adding one thing to another to find the scheme of things, which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found. One man among 1,000 I found, but a woman among all these I have not found. See, this alone I found, that the Almighty made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. And so, guys, be not deceived by thinking that it's by your own wisdom, by your own soundness, that you have overcome anything. But instead, understand that it is our Heavenly Father's hand that preserves and keeps you, that gives you the very wisdom that you seek, that rescues you from your very sinful ways, that guides you along your crooked paths that you've somehow been placed upon or have wandered to. Either way, it's not you that's in control. And so you thinking that you are that person that's in control is operating from a place of foolishness. So be not deceived, be not fooled by desiring and seeking more and more, trying to gather more and more, trying to acquire more and more. Instead, be grateful for our gracious and merciful Father in his hand and his display, and allowing us to receive this portion of his word to guide us, instruct us, and direct us in the right way, onto the right path, onto the path of righteousness. And so that's all I have for you guys for today. I look forward in continuing the book of Ecclesiastes in chapter 8. I'll see you soon. Take care.